everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting the brand new Master Moulder. Yes, another of the Skaven that's got a wonderful glow up, and well, it looks absolutely fantastic. So massive thank you to Games Workshop for sending me this one early to build up and paint with all of you. And we're going to jump in, I'm going to start painting it. It has been primed in grey Seer. And the colour we're going to be using first is Agrax Earthshade. And we're going to be applying this over top of all of the Master Moulder's skin and fur. Now, there is a large boil on his back. That is something we are not going to be applying this over. However, the rest of it we are. Starting down there on the leg. And then making our way around the rest of it. With all that Agrax Earthshade applied, what we're then going to do is take some Mortarion Grime, and we're going to use this over the top of the skin. This is just going to add a little bit of kind of unwellness and yellowing. Well, greening. But what we're going to do, we're not going to apply this over the top of the hand or the head. With that Mortarion Grime applied, we're then going to take some Reikland Fleshshade, and we're going to use this to shade over the top of the Master Moulder's head and his hands. But what we're also going to do with the Reikland Fleshshade here is we're going to apply this over the top of the boily bit. With that Reikland Fleshshade applied, we're then going to take some Carroburg Crimson, and we're going to apply this over the top of the boily bit. Like so. And what we're also going to do with the Carroburg Crimson is we're going to apply this over top of any tails. And so with that all done, we're now going to take some Ratling Grime. I'm going to apply this over top of all of the fur on our Master Moulder. So with that all done, we're then going to take some Cygor Brown and we're going to apply this over top of all this leather strapping. With that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take a roughly 3 parts Gryph-Hound Orange to 1 part Gore-Grunta Fur mix, and we're going to apply this over the top of our Master Moulder's robes. With that then done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Black Legion and we're going to apply this over the top of the body of the moulded rat, as well as over the top of all of our little diddy rats. And with that Black Legion applied, we're then going to take some Guilliman Flesh and we're going to apply this over top of the head of the moulded rat. And the hand of the moulded rat. With that then done, we want to take some Dark Angel's Green. I'm going to apply this over top of all of the warp crystals, or Warpstone, as it's more commonly known. So we have these bits here, like that, and then there's one right there in the hand. Like that. But what we're also going to do here is just tilt the model a little bit, because there's another one right in there. It's easy to miss. And we're also going to apply this over the top of this large cable. With that done, we actually applied some Black Legion over the top of these syringes here and on the chest as well, because I forgot to do it. But what we're also going to do now is we're going to take some Sigvald Burgundy and we're going to apply this over the top of this little hand wrap here on the arm of our moulded rat, as well as over the top of the grip on the gripper over here. With that then done, what we're going to do is take some Gore-Grunta Fur. We're going to apply this over the top of the talons and claws of the Master Moulder, like that, on the feet. We're going to apply this over the top of the fur on our moulded rat. Like so. we're going to apply this over top of the Master Moulder's teeth. His eyeballs and his nose, and the inside of his ears, like that. And over the inside of, well, we're just going to coat this over the top of the entirety of that ear, like that. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors. I'm going to use this to colour in all of our remaining details. There is going to be a second metallic, but for now we're just going to get this all over, just like this, and then wait for it to fully dry. With all of that Iron Warriors applied, what we're now going to do is going to take some thinned down Runelord Brass. And we're going to apply this over the top of, well, a couple of little details here and there. So we're going to be going over the top of this piece of the casing on the grabber. We want to apply this over the top of a little Skaven icon just up here. Like so. We're going to apply this over the top of the casing of the gun. Like that. We've got the butt of the pistol as well. And we're also going to apply this over the top of this doohickey. Like that. And over the top of this doobry what's-it. With all of that done, we're now going to take some Agrax Earthshade. I'm going to use this to shade all the metallics. And with that Agrax Earthshade applied, we're then going to take some Carroburg Crimson, and we're just going to pick out any of the little boils around the skin. So with that done, our Master Moulder is now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready, and it's looking pretty cool. However, we're not going to leave it there, of course not. We're going to take it to the next level, and we're going to do this by adding some highlights. And the first of these is going to be some thinned down Ushabti Bone. And we're going to use this to highlight all of our Agrax Earthshade and Mortarion Grime skin. So we're just going to start down here, where it all began. And then once that's done, we'll come back. So with that Ushabti Bone all applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Pallid Wych Flesh, and we're going to use this to add some little spot highlights to areas such as these toes, like so. We're going to use this to highlight the boils by just putting a little dot. And we're going to use this to highlight the hand and the face. Well, both hands and the face. So with that then done, what we're going to do is we're going to take a tiny amount of Evil Sunz Scarlet. I'm going to use this to pick out all of the eyes on the Master Moulder and all the other rats. So with that all done, our next colour is going to be some thinned down Karak Stone. And we're going to use this to pick out any teeth around the model. We've got these little bone spurs at the top of the back of this rat up here. Like that. And we're also going to use this to add a couple of little highlights here and there to some of the fur. We don't need to do too much. It's kind of almost a spot highlight in a way. And with that Karak Stone applied, we're then going to take a tiny amount of Screaming Skull. I'm going to use this to add a kind of little spot highlight to the teeth and those bone spurs on the rat up here. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Dawnstone. We're going to use this to highlight all of our black details. So this is going to include those syringes, the rats, and the moulded rat. And then next up, what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Gorthor Brown, and we're going to use this to highlight the leathers. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Deathclaw Brown. I'm going to use this to highlight the robe. So with that then done, we're going to take some thinned down Moot Green. I'm going to use this to highlight our Warpstone. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Ironbreaker. I'm going to use this to highlight all the silver. And so with all that Ironbreaker applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Canoptek Alloy. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the brass. And so with our base complete, our Master Moulder is now finished. And I really like this model. I think he's awesome. He's a little guy, very, very small, but there's so much texture and there's so many different things going on here that it's a really fun model to sit down and paint. It's just, there's lots and lots to look at, lots and lots to see, and lots to do, which is always the best thing when it comes to a little model like this. Absolutely superb stuff. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel, and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done, scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.